This is Triggered.
And you will be. It's New Year's Eve.
And all the girls are crazy.
We are crazy.
I don't even know what happened. I don't know what... Well, actually, I kind of do know.
We do know. Okay, Chantal, give it to us.
All right. So, usually, there is one new moon a month. You get a new moon, you get a full moon, you go through the moon cycle.
And the new moon is the toenail, right?
The new moon is no moon. We can't see it.
Okay.
It's blackout. This month, we had two new moons. One of them being yesterday. And I think that it fucked with every part of me because I am suddenly sensitive. I'm emotional.
Okay, so Chantal has no uterus. Chantal is the most even. Chantal is even Steven. She just goes through life not very hormonal at all.
Do you see my face of confusion?
You really are, though.
I hope Matt listens to this.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be like...
He needs to know what he has.
He's going to be like, I politely disagree. But anyways, that's where we're at. Guys, okay, so because we're on the crazy train right now, last night I tried the viral Anna Paul Turkish pasta thing that I'm sure everyone has seen.
On TikTok?
On TikTok. And then it's like 7 a.m., but I had it for breakfast, and now I feel like I'm just breathing like yogurt, lemon, garlic curry into Ashley's face. But here we are.
It's fine, girl. It's fine.
This is what you're getting.
Chantal, do you have a New Year's resolution?
Okay, so which time with Chantal?
Okay, go.
I don't celebrate January 1st as my new year.
Oh.
That is unconventional and doesn't make any sense. If you follow the flow and ebb of the world, of the earth, of where we are in the earth.
So are we just calling this National Chinese Food Day? Because this is...
But here's the thing. What I believe, at least, winter is a time for rest. Winter, that's why animals hibernate. It's why we get a blanket of snow. Nothing is growing. Nothing is doing anything. Okay. So it actually does not make sense to be making resolutions in the middle of the winter.
Okay.
So my New Year's, where I make resolutions and I
Spring.
Yeah, it's April 1st.
Okay. Well, I will make a New Year's resolution.
You tell me what.
I think this year, moving forward, because we all know I'm a little passive, and I let things flow.
I'm about this.
Yeah, and I let people say whatever, and I just fluff it off. And you know what?
You're fucking done.
I don't know if it's the New Year's or the menopause, but I'm fucking done. I think I'm
Amen,
at the point,
sister.
Yeah, I'm at the point where, you know what, if something doesn't sit well with me, I think I'm just going to be like, hi, I didn't like that.
Yep.
And this is not okay.
Yep.
So guys, stay tuned. Ashley might be on the news.
It's true though. Like there's no, and I understand, not freaking out about every little thing. I get that. That's maturity. That's professionalism. At the same time, there is absolutely nothing wrong with if someone says something, especially like our friends or our family or something. If someone says something and it does not sit well with you, or it's offensive, or it's any of those things, I think we've been taught differently than this, because there is nothing wrong with being like, hey, Ashley, when you said that thing to me earlier, it really hurt my feelings and kind of offended me.
Yeah.
And then you say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it would affect you like that. I'll be more careful moving forward. And then everyone moves on.
Yeah.
And then you're fine. There's
Instead of just sitting there and being like,
and
I'm
dwelling
so
on
hurt.
it. And like, and then what ends up happening is you grow resentment and you grow anger towards that person or towards the situation or whatever, when you could have literally had a 2-minute conversation.
It's true.
And everybody just, and nobody has to be pissed off. Nobody has to go to their other friend and be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
She said she was offended. No, like literally.
Let's not do that.
We're not doing it anymore.
But also, can we just not be assholes?
Ash is like, if you would like to avoid the wrath of Ash.
It's going to come.
I know. And you know what?
And you've
I
been
hope
seeing
it does.
it. Because I just sit in silence and then I just fester.
And I don't sit in silence.
No.
So
I do.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm ready for
tuned.
you. Yeah.
So, let's start today's episode. Shall we?
We shall.
I want to start with a little bit of like nostalgia, if you will.
I like that.
Do you remember how exciting it was when the carnival would come to town, like the fair, the Midway?
Did I ever tell you that I was Miss Cobden?
Yes.
Yeah. Crown, sash. I got to go to Toronto.
Oh my God.
With adults that weren't my parents, which was wild. Like, I'm not going to call them out on this because they would be disappointed if I did. But like, I went from, my parents.
Yeah.
To being in the car with these two couples, these two like adult parent couples.
Were they super religious?
Bang, no.
Okay.
No.
So this was a whole new world for Chantal.
We're like halfway to Toronto, and one of the moms breaks out, the little 4-pack of like pre-mixed shots, like the mudslides.
And that is where it all began.
She's pulling them out. Everybody's taking one, and I'm like, Jesus, if you can hear me.
I'm dead. Miss Cobden.
Yeah. So yes, I love a good fair.
Oh my God, it was such a big deal for us. Like, there was really nothing much to do in the summer, right? I mean, go to the beach, whatever. But like when that carnival was rolling in, you're like, it is time. It was the highlight of the summer.
Let's get on a Ferris wheel.
And just not, like, it wasn't even just when we were little. Like, even as when we were teenagers, like, shit's going down. Like, we were up to teenage shenanigans.
Some of my first, like, experiences with boys happened
at the carnival.
At carnivals. Like, behind, like,
oh, yeah.
where the carny would come out and be like, get out of here, you girlskins. Whacking off to it later.
And like a carnival. And the carnival workers were not much older than we were by the time we were like 17, 18. A lot of them were like only in their early 20s. And that was like a really big thing. And we were always being warned that the workers were like, people who were running away from something sinister. And now that I'm older, I am more aware that like, maybe no,
but also I don't think they were just traveling. And listen, I know that a lot of them are a little bit fucked up.
Yeah.
But they're just traveling workers.
Yeah.
Really.
Some people do that for a summer job. Like, I remember some people,
Absolutely.
and I think one of the girls I went to school with, I think she married a man and they own a carnival, if I'm not wrong.
That's cool.
Yeah, really cool. But like, they were rough around the edges for the most part.
Sure.
So I don't want to like paint this awful picture of like carnival workers, or we used to call them carnies.
Yeah.
But some of them were a little...
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times, and it might be different now, but a lot of times there wasn't a background check. There wasn't, you didn't have to provide government anything.
No.
It was like, all right, be here on this day.
Yeah.
Make sure you pack a bag.
Can you hose puke? Yes, you can. Hired.
Let's go. You're in.
Okay, so before we get into it, you're going to see why I'm talking about the carnival, because as I do, I like to lead in. And this story, like many of our cases, is very brutal. I'm going to talk about torture. I'm going to talk about abuse.
All right.
It's a little early, but...
All right.
I did pour us a glass of cranberry juice.
I know. I really like it.
Yeah, it's nice. So we're going to talk about Sylvia Marie Likens. Do you know the story of this gal?
I don't believe I do.
Okay. So she was born January 3rd, 1949 in Indiana, smack in the middle of 5 siblings. She had this gorgeous wavy brown hair. She was really beautiful. It hung just below her shoulders, and she went by the nickname Cookie to her friends.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's cute.
I would call you Cookie.
Right? You think?
Yep.
I'm a cookie?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would call you like Fireball.
Also fair. Also fair.
So Sylvia was the third child in the Likens family, born between two sets of fraternal twins, Danielle and Deanna, who were 2 years older, and Benny and Jenny, 1 year older. Yes.
I'm having a hard time.
The names?
No.
Oh. Benny and Jenny?
I have
Diana and
I have twin
Daniel?
aunts
Oh, yeah, that's
that
true.
are Rana and Donna. So no, the
Fair.
names do not bother me at all.
Okay.
I'm just thinking like this girl, like being in the middle
Of two twins?
two sets
Two
of
sets
twins.
of twins, yeah.
Ma'am.
So Jenny did have polio.
Oh, okay.
So she walked with a noticeable limp and had to wear a steel brace on her leg.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I don't know about the vaccines back then. Were
What
they
year
really
was this?
prevalent in the late 40s, early 50s? No.
Yeah, so polio was definitely
And
a
also-
high risk.
It's going to make sense why, even
Okay.
if there was a vaccine, she didn't have it.
Ah, okay.
So Sylvia was fiercely protective of her younger sister. And the two of them had this incredible close bond. So she had Jenny.
Right.
Yeah. Their parents, Lester and Elizabeth Likens, were carnival workers.
Oh, all right.
And while that might sound like an adventure, it wasn't exactly a stable life.
No.
The family moved around constantly, selling candy and soda at carnival stands, always scraping by financially. Like, yes, of course, 5 kids.
Well, I am with 5 kids. Oh,
The Likens boys usually traveled with them to help out, but Sylvia and Jenny often stayed behind with relatives, mostly their grandmother. And this was all just basically about keeping the girls safe and in school.
yeah.
So
Fair.
the boys were more the workers, and the girls, they wanted them to get an education and more stability in their life. So Sylvia was your typical teenage girl in so many ways. She loved babysitting and doing small chores for neighbors to earn a little spending money, and she often would give part of it to her mom. And that is so sweet.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
And very common back then.
Yeah, absolutely. People described her as friendly, lively, and confident. But get this. She always kept her mouth closed when smiling because she had lost a front tooth while roughhousing with her brothers as a kid.
Aw. And it wasn't like it is today.
No. So, like, to
One of
me,
my
that-
kids knocked their teeth out
you're
pretty
like, off
bad.
we go to the dentist.
And honestly, within a couple hours,
Yep.
they had no teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I feel like those little details of Sylvia, they make her feel so real, you know?
Oh, yeah.
it's
Like,
just
I can feel her personality.
Yeah. She was a huge Beatles fan and absolutely loved music.
Aw.
She also had this tender side, especially when it came to Jenny. Whenever they went to the local skating rink, Sylvia would hold Jenny's hand and help her skate,
That's so cute.
balancing her strong leg. So although she had polio, she was still like, I got you. I love that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. So she was super kind and selfless and protective and super sweet as far as any girl can go.
Yeah.
And she had a promising future in life. Like, she was doing school, very, very good in school and very bright. Unfortunately, this story is going to take a horrifying turn.
Well, I mean, don't they always?
Yeah. And her parents make a fateful decision.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So here we go. Ready? Everyone take a breath because it's going to happen.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into the part of the story that honestly I find it's very hard to talk about.
Okay.
And in 1965, Sylvia and Jenny's parents decide to leave them in the care of a woman named Gertrude Baniszewski while they traveled for work. And at first, everything seemed fine, but Gertrude's household was anything but normal. And what happened to Sylvia there was nothing short of monstrous.
Oh, God.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's unpack what led to this nightmare.
Okay.
Okay, so let me paint a picture of Gertrude for you. Born September 19th, 1928 in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
She had a rough life herself. She was the third of 6 children in a working class family. When she was just 11 years old, her father died suddenly of a heart attack, leaving the family struggling. By 16, she had dropped out of high school to marry John Baniszewski. an 18-year-old with a volatile temper.
Oh, good. That's what
Very
everybody
common
wants.
back in the day, right? Men just treated women a little rough.
You know, sometimes I wonder about this because I'm like, no, I don't think so. I think we only just hear about those.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because there must have been good men.
My papa was like a sweet, innocent little darling man, but I'm sure he had a temper. It was a different time.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
Yeah.
And I mean, never is it ever okay to treat your wife or your kids like shit. But what we see as shit and what they saw as shit are different things.
Yeah, for sure. So Gertrude's life was far from stable. She had 7 children from multiple marriages and relationships.
Gee.
Each one adding more stress to her already difficult life. So she
shit.
was just very unstable, got married at 16, had 7 kids, a bunch of different men. By the time Sylvia and Jenny entered her home in 1965, Gertrude was 36 years old, underweight, chain smoking, and had severe asthma.
Oh, dear.
She relied heavily on sporadic child support payments and odd jobs like sewing and cleaning to keep her family afloat. And the home they lived in was a rundown house in East New York Street in Indianapolis, rented for just $55 a month. It's safe to say this wasn't an ideal environment for anyone, let alone 2 teenage girls. $55 a month sounds like ridiculously cheap, but back then it wasn't. I'm sure it was like on the low end of housing, but like you still had to make $55 a month, and like it's still, you know, as a single mom, you're feeding 7 kids.
Oh, yeah.
At first, everything seemed fine. Sylvia and Jenny settled into Gertrude's home while their parents traveled for work. By June 1965, Sylvia and Jenny were back in Indianapolis with their parents when their mother was arrested for shoplifting.
Oh, shit.
Desperate, their father, Lester, arranged for the girls to go back to Gertrude. So what I've discovered is they had befriended one of Gertrude's girls.
Okay, I see.
And then met Gertrude, and she's like, sure, the girls can stay here.
Yeah.
They stayed for a little short stint. Everything seemed fine. Parents came back. Mom got in shit. Then Father Lester has to fucking get back on the road.
Well, get back on the road, and also, like, I feel like as a single parent, having 5 kids would be hella difficult.
Yeah. So they had met Gertrude. Her 2 daughters, Paula and Stephanie, were friends with Jenny and Sylvia, and they attended Arsenal Technical High School. And Gertrude assured Lester she would treat Sylvia and Jenny as her own children. And I mean, yeah, like she's a mom. You're like, you know, you're saying,
these stories always terrify me.
Yeah, I know. After the 4th of July holiday, Sylvia and Jenny moved into 3850 East New York Street so their parents could work the carnival circuit in the East Coast. The arrangement included a $20 weekly boarding fee that Gertrude was going to receive, with the expectation that Lester and Elizabeth would return in November to collect the girls.
Okay, I just have a question. So just Sylvia and Jenny?
Yeah.
Where are the other 3 kids? Somewhere else?
There was 2 sets of twins.
Yeah.
Boys.
Okay. And where are they?
And Diana was older. So there's Diana and Daniel.
Okay.
And Diana's older.
Okay.
And I don't know where she is. I don't know if she moved out on her own.
Oh, okay. I see.
She does pop up in the story, so maybe it'll be a little bit more clear. Okay. But at that time, I don't know where she is, unless she was working because she was older.
Yeah.
And Jenny and Sylvia were quite young.
Yeah. I'm just like, where's Jenny's twin?
A boy.
But where is he?
With the dad working the carnival. Remember, the boys worked the carnival.
With him.
Yeah,
oh,
they take the boys.
Okay. I understand now. All right.
Yeah, so for the first few weeks, things were uneventful. Sylvia and Jenny participated in housework, sang along to pop records with Stephanie, one of Gertrude's daughters, and even attended Sunday school with the family. The pastor commended Sylvia for her piety. On the surface, everything seemed fine. So Sylvia was very into her faith, always participated. She was just all around very well-rounded girl. Mm-hmm. But as we know, appearances can be very deceiving.
Yeah.
And in this household, things were about to take a horrific turn that no one could have predicted. After just 2 weeks, the payments became inconsistent.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You see this so often.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they'd arrive late or not at all, and Gertrude began taking her frustrations out on Sylvia and
On the
Jenny.
girls, yeah.
So she was like, I have 2 more fucking mouths to feed, and your parents
And your
suck."
parents are fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah. She would beat them with paddles, sometimes 15 times in a row, yelling things like, well, I took care of you 2 little bitches for a week for nothing. And the abuse would escalate. Like, it was pretty horrific. When Paula, one of Gertrude's daughters, accused the girls of eating too much at church supper, Sylvia and Jenny were beaten repeatedly for that as well. So, like, there's nothing these girls could do right. If they had a little bit too much to eat, if, they had a snack, like...
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's really sad. And I mean, they're displaced, right? They're with this family, and this woman is treating them like a fucking,
Terrible.
monetary exchange where no life,
Yeah, no kidding.
By mid-August, Gertrude's focus shifted mostly entirely to Sylvia. Jealousy seemed to drive her. So Sylvia's youth, beauty, and potential became targets for Gertrude's cruelty.
Yeah.
The abuse wasn't just physical. She was starved, forced to eat scraps from the garbage, and constantly humiliated.
What the fuck?
It's
I can't.
disgusting. On one occasion, she was beaten for stealing candy that she had actually purchased herself by doing odd jobs.
Awesome. That's great.
It was so heartbreaking. And it's so enraging. Like, she, must have felt so broken at that point and, like, saved a little bit of money and bought herself some candy and then got beaten for it.
Ugh.
It's fucking awful.
Oh, I hate these stories.
On another occasion in late August, Sylvia was subjected to humiliation when she claimed to have a boyfriend in Long Beach, whom she had met in the spring of 1965 when her family lived in California. In response to this, Gertrude asked if Sylvia had ever done anything with the boy. Was unsure of what she meant, so she was like, I guess so, and explained that she had gone skating with the boys there.
Oh, she was
Just
just
so
a
innocent.
sweetie.
And once gone to a park and a beach with them.
Oh.
Continuing the conversation with Jenny and Stephanie, Sylvia mentioned that she had once laid under a blanket with him.
Oh, scandalous.
Scandalous.
Oh,
right?
my God.
Upon hearing this, Gertrude asked, why did you do that, Sylvia?
Oh, wow. Thanks, Gertrude.
And Sylvia just kind of shrugged and said, I don't know. And that was supposed to be the end of that. Well, several days later, Gertrude returned to the subject again. Like, she couldn't get over the subject.
Okay.
And she says to her, you're certainly getting big in the stomach, Sylvia. It looks like you're going to have a baby.
What?
And Sylvia thought Gertrude was kidding and said, yeah, it sure is getting big. I guess I'm just going to have to go on a diet. Because at this point,
And
she hadn't done anything.
And also, thanks.
Right.
You bitch.
Oh, this woman is something.
Okay, side note. Guys,
No.
don't ever comment on a pregnant woman's belly. Don't ever comment on a woman's belly.
No.
Period.
We don't talk about it.
Ever. I can meet a woman who is literally 9 months pregnant. Unless she specifically says, oh yeah, my baby's coming soon.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh nice. Like, when are you due? Do not.
It's a no-go.
Do not. So like now I'm on medication that has completely gotten rid of a lot of my bloat. But like I have PCOS. The only thing I have left are my ovaries and they're fucked.
Yeah.
So sometimes I look like I'm 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Like I have a full pregnant belly. Guys, I don't have a uterus. So when I am like, there's one time I remember clearly from this past summer, we went to Walmart and Matt was inside and I had to park the truck because we took the truck and I got out and we have a big truck. I got out of the truck and like an old woman was like, well, you shouldn't be getting up and down that truck in your state. And I just wanted to punch her in the face.
So let's not comment
So
on
let's
bellies.
never comment on bellies.
So Gertrude seemed to be obsessed with that subject for some reason.
Because she's a freak.
So then she tells her and the other girls in the house that whenever they did something with a boy, they would be sure to have a baby.
I mean, those blankets, Ash. Just laying under those blankets.
Yeah,
Phew.
having a baby. She then kicked her in the genitals.
Oh, good. Oh, perfect.
Paula, her daughter,
Uh-huh.
herself at the time, was 3 months pregnant.
Oh.
And was very jealous of Sylvia's physical appearance. She also participated in attacking her, knocking her off her chair onto the kitchen floor, shouting, "You ain't fit to sit in a chair."
Perfect. Fantastic.
So now it's not just Gertrude. Her children are starting to participate in the abuse.
Well, I mean, they're looking at this going, and there was probably an aspect of mom's not going to accept us unless we participate.
Yeah, there's something.
Oh, God, that's awful.
And get ready because
it just gets worse.
This is just starting.
Of course it does.
So one night, Gertrude, along with her daughter Paula and a neighborhood boy named Randy Gordon Lepper, force-fed Sylvia a hot dog overloaded with condiments like mustard and spices and like everything they could find in the fridge. They loaded it up. Disgusting. Made her, like, force-fed it to her until she vomited. And then they forced her to eat the vomit. It's just gross.
I'm upset.
It gets worse.
Oh, good.
In retaliation for being accused of inappropriate behavior, and like, good on Sylvia, she went to school and told people at school that Stephanie and Paula were prostitutes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so she's like, the girls I live with, they're prostitutes.
Yeah, guys,
but you know what? Like, that is such a typical thing because she just needed... I'm like, you know what? I don't even blame her. This girl's getting beat.
No, and you know what? I tell my daughter often, you don't need to retaliate.
No.
Like, people are going to do shitty things to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to turn around and do shitty things to them. However, that is true when it's like being kids.
Yeah.
But this is not kid behavior.
No.
This woman is being abused on a regular basis.
And
so
like,
good for her for going to school and being like, yeah, they are.
And maybe
prostitutes.
they were. Like, this household is
might
so
have been.
fucking crazy.
Yeah. And you said that Paula was pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, maybe.
So Stephanie confronts her at home, leading Sylvia tearfully apologizing. But Stephanie's boyfriend, Coy Hubbard, decided to teach Sylvia a lesson.
What a dumb name. Coy. Get out of here.
He brutally attacked her, slapping her, slamming her head against a wall, and flipping her onto the floor and just going to town, slapping her and hurting her.
That's awful.
And that wasn't the end of the punishment. When Gertrude found out, she used a paddle to beat Sylvia again. So these events start to paint a picture of a girl being systematically broken down, both physically and emotionally, while trapped in an environment of she's stuck. She has nowhere to go.
Awful.
On another occasion, Paula beat Sylvia so bad in the face with such force that she broke her own wrist.
Okay.
Imagine the force you would have to use to break your own wrist hitting someone. And
I can't.
Mm-hmm. Her main focus was her eyes and her mouth. So she was swollen and hurt. So later, Paula used the cast on her wrist to beat her.
Oh, yeah, of course, because that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the 60s now, right?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Mid-60s. 65?
So she was just going to school with bruises and fucked up face.
Yeah. And no
one's saying anything,
saying a
doing
word.
anything.
And Paula was a very, like, boastful, not nice girl. Mm-hmm. So she was very proud of the abuse she was inflicting on Sylvia. Like, she wasn't hiding it.
Well, and at that time, adults had a very, like, well, what goes on at home is none of our business.
They would always turn a blind eye.
Oh, fuck. That's awful.
Gertrude repeatedly falsely would accuse Sylvia of promiscuity and engaging in prostitution.
She was really obsessed with that, eh?
Very obsessed with it.
That's twisted. Like, there's something there.
Constantly ranting about the filthiness of prostitution and women in general. Gertrude would later occasionally force Jenny to strike her own sister, beating Jenny if she did not comply. So now she has the only person...
Oh, God.
That, like, and remember, Sylvia is so protective of her little sister.
Oh, that's awful.
And Jenny is like, if I don't do it, I'm getting my ass beat.
Yeah.
So this is just crazy to me.
Jenny with polio is getting her fucking ass beat.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Hate it.
So Coy, remember Coy, the boyfriend?
How could I forget about Coy?
And several of his classmates frequently visited the household to both physically and verbally torment Sylvia, often collaborating with all the children of the household and Gertrude herself.
Great.
With Gertrude's active encouragement, these neighborhood children routinely beat her, sometimes using her as practice dummy in violent judo sessions,
Oh, good.
lacerating her body, burning her skin with lit cigarettes in excess of 100 times, and severely injuring her genitals.
That's awful.
And they're all participating.
Oh, God. Oh, this poor girl.
To entertain Gertrude and her teenage accomplices, Sylvia was forced at one point to strip naked in the family living room and penetrate herself with a glass Pepsi bottle in their presence, with Gertrude just stating to all present that this act of humiliation was for Sylvia to prove to Jenny what kind of girl you are. So show your sister what kind of girl you are. She's a prostitute. She's filthy.
I'm in shock. I'm staring at you like...
Yeah, it's very bad. And it only continues to escalate from here. So prepare yourself.
Oh, my God.
So eventually, because of all the shit she's going through, Sylvia is forbidden to attend school. Gertrude refused to buy her anything for school anyways, and she couldn't participate in gym or anything like that.
Ugh.
One day, Sylvia comes home just before she was forbidden to go with a gym uniform to wear for gym class. For this, Gertrude whipped Sylvia with a 3-inch wide police belt and began lecturing her about the evils of premarital sex. What does one have to do with the other? She's fucking nuts. Like, it's fucking crazy. So this is where the abuse really starts to go, because now she's not going to school. So basically, it's a free-for-all. Gertrude would repeatedly kick Sylvia in the genitals, as Stephanie, one of her daughters, as we spoke about, tried to defend her this one time. So Stephanie's a little bit younger, and she starts, like, I think she just had enough at this point, and she's screaming, she didn't do anything. But Gertrude was like,
yeah,
fuck around and find out, do you want to be next, kind of thing.
Yeah, like, don't fucking test me because I will fuck you up.
But Stephanie trying to protect Sylvia in this moment, which does show me that Stephanie maybe does have a heart and a little bit, like, she's probably so scared and so confused, and at this moment she just couldn't handle it anymore.
Right.
But it pissed Gertrude off even more. So for that, she burned Sylvia's fingertips with matches before whipping her again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't.
Yeah, and a few days later, Sylvia's younger sister was also beaten with the same police belt for reportedly stealing a single tennis shoe from school to help her sister walk on her strong foot.
I'm having a hard time with this now.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting...
It's going to get worse.
Now I'm getting real fucking angry.
This is fucked.
Yoy.
So Sylvia and Jenny were too scared to tell anyone about the abuse they were enduring. Jenny in particular was paralyzed by fear, because Gertrude would constantly threaten her, saying she would endure the same torture as Sylvia was receiving if she told anybody. Jenny faced so much bullying from the girls in the neighborhood and was beaten and ridiculed when she alluded to Sylvia's suffering. So if she even, like, said, like, you know, something's going on with Sylvia, fucking beaten.
You're done. Yeah. Oh, this is awful.
It's really bad. I'm sorry. So Lester and Elizabeth occasionally would come to visit the girls in Indianapolis when they were driving through.
What the fuck?
But the abuse was carefully hidden during these visits.
What the fuck?
The last time they came was October 5th. Neither Sylvia nor Jenny gave any indication of their mistreatment. Likely because Gertrude and her children were present, always. They were never left alone with their parents.
Okay, I'm going to say something that, like, might get me a little bit of hate. And I could be wrong because... my daughter has had the cushiest of lives. I feel like I would be able to look at my child and know.
I know.
I feel like I could look at her and be like, something's wrong.
I mean, so I have two sides of the coin with this.
So awful.
First of all, do these parents really know their daughters very well? Because they're constantly working, constantly traveling, leaving the girls with, you know, grandma, now Gertrude. So, like, maybe they don't know them very well. Also, if you are so fucking scared for your life, you could probably fake it. I don't know. I don't know.
God. Oh. No, and I'm not fan of Sylvia's parents.
No.
In any way, shape, or form.
No, they had no business having those kids.
No. But at the same time, I'm like, you're right. Like, if I don't know, I'm really
And a lot,
I really
like back
struggle
then
with it.
too, kids were seen and not heard, right? So it was probably like nowadays, kids would be like, "Help!" You know what I mean? Kids are now kind of taught to speak up, and maybe it wasn't the case. And the thing that this fucking just chilled me to the bone when I heard this. The last time the parents visited, as soon as their parents left, Gertrude turns to Sylvia and says, "What are you going to do now, Sylvia? Now they're gone." Like, I can't.
Ugh, God.
Could you imagine that moment where you're just like, fuck, maybe I should have, that was my chance.
And listen, there's no fault on Sylvia at all in
No.
any way, shape, or form. I just want to like go back to her and just be like, it's 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're there or not. Literally looking at your mom and being like, they beat me and make me put Pepsi bottles up my vagina.
Yeah.
Can you please take me?
Please take me out of here. I know. So in September, Sylvia and Jenny ran into their older sister, Diana, at a local park. Both girls told her about the abuse, explaining how Sylvia was the main target and was being punished for things she hadn't even done. Tragically, they didn't provide their address, and Diana thought they might have been exaggerating. This missed opportunity is so heartbreaking for me because Diana probably later on in life was like, fuck, you know?
No shit.
They told me.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So later again in September, Sylvia and Jenny run into Diana again. They were with 11-year-old Marie, which is Gertrude's daughter, and they were at the park. So Diana gave Sylvia a sandwich when she said she was hungry.
Okay.
Sylvia didn't say much about her situation this time. Marie, 11, goes home and tells her family Diana gave Sylvia a sandwich. This minor act of kindness spiraled into tragedy.
Oh, God.
Gertrude accused Sylvia of gluttony.
Yoy.
And both she and Paula attacked her, choking and bludgeoning her. Then, as if that wasn't horrific enough, they gave her a scalding bath to cleanse her of her sin of eating a sandwich. Gertrude then grabbed Sylvia by the hair, repeatedly slamming her head against the bathtub to revive her every time she fainted. So she would knock her out and revive her.
Oh.
It's awful.
Oh, Ash, what the fuck?
I know, I find the most fucked up stories.
You really do.
The abuse was escalating, and people were starting to notice. A neighbor's father anonymously called Arsenal Tech High School, reporting that a girl with open sores was living at Gertrude's house.
Aww.
But when the school nurse came to investigate, Gertrude claimed Sylvia had run away and her sores were a result of poor hygiene. Despite the glaring red flags, the school took her word for it and didn't investigate further.
Yoy. I can't.
So now, anybody who is going to take a look in this situation thinks she ran away. And Gertrude is just painting her to be this, runaway teen who's out of control and doesn't take care of herself and, of course, casting the blame on Sylvia.
Wow.
But even the neighbors of Gertrude, Raymond and Phyllis Vermillion, noticed something was wrong. They had visited the house twice and saw Paula physically abusing Sylvia both times. On one occasion, Paula openly bragged about the abuse. By their second visit, Sylvia appeared meek and zombified. Aww. Yet they didn't report anything to authorities. Okay, you live next door and you see this girl, there's something wrong.
And you know what? I mean, we're talking about it was a different time back then.
No.
This still happens today.
It's inhumane.
This still happens today.
Yep.
Because I'm sure you've seen the TikTok videos where they'll set up a scene.
Yes.
Where they'll
fake kidnap a kid and people just look and keep walking.
What are you doing?
The fuck?
What are you doing?
I would be running.
I would be my video would go viral because I would be monkey jumping on people's backs.
Yes.
If I saw something guys, it's okay.
Speak up.
It's okay.
Even if you're not 100%
if you're wrong.
sure. Yes.
It's okay to be hey,
something ain't right.
What you're doing looks really suspicious.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through what's going on here?
Yeah, 100%.
That's okay. You can do that.
So on or around October 1st, Diana finally discovers where Sylvia and Jenny are living. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Gertrude refuses to let her in, claiming she had permission from the parents to deny access. Which, why would their parents say you can't go visit your sisters? It makes no sense. She ordered Diana off the property. A couple weeks later, Diana ran into Jenny near Gertrude's home and asked about Sylvia. And Jenny's response was heartbreaking. She said, I can't tell you or I'll get into trouble.
Oh, my God.
So now these girls are broken down. Like, they finally
of course.
broke them.
Of course.
By October 6th, the abuse had escalated to an unspeakable level. Sylvia, now incontinent from the constant torture, was no longer allowed to use the bathroom. Gertrude threw her into the basement and tied her up, where she was often kept naked, very rarely fed, and frequently deprived of water. At times, she was tied to the basement stairs with her feet barely touching the ground.
Oh, my God.
I have no words. It's so sad. Gertrude's cruelty became more calculated. She began falsely claiming that Sylvia had insulted her or the children to provoke more abuse. And we see this. The abusers will always say, well, they asked for it. They did this, so I had to. Like, it's fucking whack.
Yeah. Oh.
Once Gertrude held a knife and taunted Sylvia to fight back. When Sylvia said she didn't know how to fight, Gertrude inflicted a shallow cut on her leg as punishment.
Wow.
So it didn't matter what she did.
No. Well, and this is the thing that we see with these highly deranged people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They make promises. They, what case was it that we were just doing?
Junko.
That's right. She played Mahjong.
Yeah. If you win, we won't
torture you. And they did anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the torment obviously doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
Neighborhood children were charged 5 cents each to witness and participate in the abuse.
I'll scream. I'm going to scream.
I know. They were encouraged to beat her, scald her with hot water, and mutilate her.
I'm going to.
So now Gertrude has created a little shop of horrors. 5 cents to come in and torture, and it's fucking insane.
I'm so upset.
Gertrude and her children restrained Sylvia, gagged her, and rubbed salt into her wounds after placing her in scalding water. All of this would occur while they were watching TV as a family. They would be watching TV and they'd pause, go downstairs, do a little torture, go back upstairs and watch TV as a family. Like, it's so fucked up to me. Like, this house is so fucked up to me.
I can't believe the rage coursing through my body right now.
Yeah, it's bad. So neighbors reported hearing shouting and screaming from the house.
No shit.
But no one intervened.
Nobody did anything.
No, they were just like, oh, that's weird.
Let's just mind our own business.
Fuck. And it's just, it's really bad. So imagine just being a kid yourself. All these kids are going to school and they're like, hey, after school, do you want to put our coins together so we can go and beat this girl in the basement? And it becomes like a sick game. Everyone knows about it.
I'm enraged. I'm struggling.
It's bad. So one day, Gertrude accused Sylvia of spreading rumors about her daughters and engaging in inappropriate behavior. How is she spreading rumors? She's locked in a basement.
She's locked in a basement.
So her punishment? She was forced to strip naked in front of the group, and Gertrude heated a needle and carved the words, "I'm a prostitute and proud of it," into her abdomen. Can you imagine? I know.
Okay, real talk here. Where do you find these fucking stories?
I know. It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
So
Jesus.
She's being carved in her abdomen, being humiliated. Gertrude can't even finish the branding herself, so she makes one of the neighborhood boys, Richard Hobbs, take over. This fucking drives me. He later claims he only made light etchings. So, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
If you are using the word etching when referring to a human being, get the fuck out of here.
And it doesn't stop there, Chantal. Later,
listen.
Yeah, Gertrude's children and even a 10-year-old neighbor tried to burn an S into Sylvia's skin, but they botched it so badly it looked more like a 3. At one point, Sylvia turned to her sister Jenny and said, "I know you don't want me to die, but I'm going to die and I can tell it." And yet, even in her... I know, it's so sad.
She knew she was almost done.
And she was, like, still being the good sister she was, talking her little sister through it. Like, I know you don't want this to happen, but it's going to happen. Like, she was trying to prepare her for it.
Oh, God. I can't. I hate this.
I'm sorry. And yet, even in her final days, Sylvia was forced to write a letter dictated by Gertrude, claiming she'd run away and was attacked by boys. This was Gertrude's twisted attempt to cover up her crimes. Mm-hmm. So she's already planning, how am I going to get rid of this situation?
Because she's probably looking at her and she probably knows too.
Yeah.
She's going to die.
Yeah, and she can't fucking let her live at this point, I'm sure, in her mind, because she's like, she's going to tell. So the whole thing is escalating, and it's now got a life of its own, and Gertrude's losing her fucking ever-loving... Well, she lost her mind a long time ago, but things are probably, like, starting to get really crazy.
Listen, Gertrude doesn't have a soul.
No, she's
evil.
I'm going to make you mad. So the following day, Gertrude woke Sylvia up, forced her to write this letter. The letter was basically intended to mislead her parents into believing that she had run away and wasn't there anymore. The content of this letter was intended to frame a group of anonymous local boys for extensively abusing and mutilating Sylvia after she had initially agreed to engage in sexual relations with them before they inflicted the extreme abuse and torture upon her body. So in this letter, fucking Gertrude is making Sylvia say, like, I told them I would have sex with them because I'm a slut. And they mutilated me, but I did it to myself. She's making her say these things, and this poor girl is...
It's awful.
After Sylvia wrote the letter, Gertrude finished formulating her plan. She would have John Jr., so her son, and Jenny, her sister, blindfold Sylvia and take her to a nearby wooded area known as Jimmy's Forest and leave her there to die. So that was the plan.
What the actual...
So she was going to make her own sister and one of the younger boys, blindfold her, throw her in the woods, and she'd just perish. And I think that would have been a better outcome.
Oh, Jesus. Ashley?
I'm sorry.
Why?
After she finished writing the letter, Sylvia was then tied again to the stair railing and offered crackers to eat. And she couldn't eat them.
Well, no.
At one point, she was being, like, force-fed, and she said, just give it to the dog. I can't eat anymore. And this enraged Gertrude. She forced the crackers into her mouth. So she has a mouthful of dry crackers, severely dehydrated. And John, her son, beat her. And particularly around the stomach. And at this point, like, her intestines are being just crushed.
Oh, and her organs are most likely shutting down. Like, she's got nothing.
Yeah. Dehydrated and frail. She's still in the basement. On October 25th, Sylvia makes one last attempt for her life. She attempts to escape from the basement, overhearing a conversation between Gertrude and John about the family's plan to abandon her to die. So she made it to the front door, but she was caught before she could escape. Due to her extreme injuries and dehydration, she couldn't fight back. Like, she was just...
Oh, shit.
Gertrude forced crackers again into her mouth because, you know, like saltine crackers when you're really thirsty, like that will make you choke.
Okay. A little while ago, I tried this like new weed and I got like uncomfortably high.
And you tried to eat saltine crackers?
Yeah, because I was greening out and I was nauseous and like, and I was with Jade and she's like watching me and it was like a desert. Like I was like,
yeah.
Like just trying to open and close my mouth. So I can't imagine. Sorry, that was like an aside about my adventures with weed. But
so imagine you haven't been given water.
And they're just shoving it down her throat.
With a mouthful of crackers, Gertrude and Coy, that motherfucking Coy, the boyfriend, took a curtain rod and beat her until the rod bent. Then they took the rod and struck her repeatedly in the temple until she was unconscious. So that evening, because they just threw the rod down on the ground, she's lying there and wakes up and she's like, I have got to get out of here. Like this, like I'm
gonna die.
And the thing is, I love that she had, faith and hope. And I think that everyone needs to have that in any moment because you should fight to the very end.
Yeah.
She starts screaming and banging and grabs, I'm assuming it's the the rod, but also other reports say there was also a spade.
Okay.
So when I read this story, I made a little note here. It could have been either or, because the reports, I guess it would be just accounts from witnesses or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fair.
But she was trying to alert the neighbors.
Just make as much noise as possible.
One fucking neighbor
No, I'm not. No.
heard screaming, banging, crying.
Yeah.
But it stopped around 3 a.m., so I didn't feel the need to call the police.
I'm going to light this whole town on fire. I'm going to light
You
them on fire.
fucking didn't think to call the police when you hear a girl screaming, crying, help me, please help me, and banging with something on a fucking basement window?
There has been one time where I have heard a scream in my neighborhood. Alarming.
Yeah.
Okay. I went for a walk.
Yes.
You
go to that fucking window.
I walked up and down because I didn't know which house it came from. I walked up and down the street until a woman came out of her house and she was laughing, and I recognized that that was her scream. And I was like, I would scream like that if a spider fell on me.
True.
So fair. True. She looks fine. I'm
but
good.
Not in this situation.
What the fuck? If someone is screaming till 3 o'clock in the morning,
crying, banging,
help me. If I hear help,
oh, you best believe
I'm
911.
calling 911.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's kids fucking around up the street. Someone has to come check it out.
Well, no one did.
I can't.
So October 26th, so the following day, Sylvia was literally delirious. She can't move. She's broken down. And that afternoon, Gertrude's children and a few neighborhood kids gathered in the basement, as they did. They watched as Sylvia, in a final act of defiance, tried to identify her tormentors. She looked at them one by one, saying things like, "You're Ricky.
Bad ass.
You're Gertie."
Bitch. Amazing.
It was, I think, her way of holding them accountable, because I think at this point she knew, I'm not going to make it, but I'm going to look at you and be like,
I know who you are.
Yeah. Gertrude wasn't having it. She lost her ever-loving mind. And she's screaming, "Shut up, you know who I am. Shut up, shut up, shut up." This woman is fucking crazy. At some point, Sylvia was sprayed with the garden hose.
Good.
Because
why not? Why not? We've burned her. We've starved her. We've shoved food down her throat. Why not wet her?
And you know what? A lot of these people were children when they were participating in this. I don't give a fuck. I hope that their life was so fucking hard and that every day they had to think about this.
Let me tell you something. We cover a lot of cases. We go through a lot of shit.
Yep.
I can honestly tell you, this is the very first case where I am like, how do I find out who those people were? Because they need to pay.
I know.
Because there's a chance they're still alive.
Well, you'll hear
They need to fucking pay. No, but I'm like,
I don't care if you were fucking 12 at the time.
I don't give a fuck if you were 6.
Yeah, I hope you fucking think about that poor, beautiful girl every day of your life, and your life is so fucking hard because of it. Yeah. And I hope nothing nice for you.
No.
Because I know that at 3, I wouldn't have done something like this.
That's right, because you would have known it was wrong.
I knew not to take a toy. I knew not to push a friend.
To hurt people for fun.
It's fucked.
I can't.
So they hosed her down with the garden hose. And at this point, she's got nothing left. So she's trying to crawl away. And then, of course, because Gertrude is a piece of fucking shit and deserves to be burned alive, starts stomping on her head. Around 5:30 that day, Sylvia's suffering finally ended. Stephanie, one of her daughters, realized Sylvia wasn't breathing and tried to revive her, but it was too late. Sylvia was dead. Now, Stephanie was also the daughter that had begged, "Leave her alone, leave her alone." And I do truly think that this girl maybe also felt very stuck as well as Sylvia's sister, but like, and tried to save her, but like, my mind also is like, don't save her.
Oh God, no, don't save her. No.
Like, because unless you're getting her out of there or getting somebody, does that make me a monster? I just can't.
No, not at all. And also, like Stephanie, I don't give a fuck.
No,
if you were
could have
nice
told
to her.
Somebody.
Same with Jenny. Her little sister? I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
See, here's the thing. I'm very torn because I think, and like Jenny was just as scared. And I think maybe at that point your brain just breaks. Because victims of abuse.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's Stockholm syndrome. There's a lot
Jenny
that can
wasn't
happen.
Getting it the same as...
She was getting it though.
She was.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think her sister often said, shut your mouth or you're going to get it too. You know, like
fair.
I do think like love can do powerful things. Yeah. And I think Jenny probably didn't want to run away. You know, what if then they killed her? What if Jenny, you know, like there's a lot that would go through your mind, I think, and you would be afraid. But yes, Sylvia finally passes. She was only 16.
Oh, God, I'm upset.
So when Sylvia died, you'd think the nightmare would be over. But instead, the horror continued.
Pardon me?
Gertrude, the orchestrator of this whole fucking ordeal, refused to accept reality. She beat Sylvia's lifeless body with a book screaming, faker, 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 faker. Like, it's fucked. Could you imagine this whole scene? Because I'm very imaginative as well as you are, and I'm like, she's so fucking delusional. Like,
I need to know like soon if Gertrude is still alive.
We're getting it. I'm sorry, guys. This is a little bit of a long one.
No, it's fine, but I need to know soon.
Okay. So, like, obviously the level of delusion here is fucking staggering. It doesn't even make sense. But of course, Gertrude starts to realize she has to cover it up.
I can't.
She panics and sends one of her accomplices, Richard Hobbs, to call the police. When officers arrive around 6:30, they found Sylvia's emaciated, battered body on a filthy mattress in the upstairs.
Of course, because they
bedroom.
would have to have moved her up there to make it look like, oh my God, she was sick.
Well, and Gertrude was ready with her story.
Oh,
she had
God.
a plan.
Oh, I'm so angry about this.
So yeah, she handed the police a letter she had forced Sylvia to write. Remember the letter?
Mm-hmm.
And the letter stated that Sylvia had run away, these boys, and they found her in this condition.
Oh, I see.
And she tried to spin herself as the caregiver. And she'd been doctoring Sylvia for over an hour before her death. Like, she was trying to save her. But what is even more chilling to me is how calm everyone in the house is.
Oh, yeah.
Paula, Gertrude's daughter, held a Bible and said Sylvia's death was meant to happen. Then one of the most sinister moments, she looked at Sylvia's sister Jenny and said, if you want to live with us, we'll treat you like our own sister. What the fuck is that?
I need to know if any of these people are alive.
So that part makes my skin crawl every time I think about it. But Jenny, she's the unsung hero in this story. Because when police are questioning her, she stuck to the script that Gertrude had forced her to memorize. But as soon as she had an opportunity, she leaned in and whispered, if you get me out of here, I'll tell you everything.
Aw. Okay.
And she did.
Oh, thank God. Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny's bravery broke the case wide open. Within hours, Gertrude, her children, and several accomplices were arrested. By the 27th of October, Gertrude admitted that the kids, especially her daughter and Paula and Coy, had physically and emotionally abused Sylvia. So she's blaming it on the kids. She's like, they did do that, but I was their mother and I didn't know what to do. Like, you psycho cunt. She didn't stop there, though. She tried to downplay her role, saying things like, Paula did all the damage and Coy did a lot of the beatings as well. She casually admitted to force Sylvia to sleep in the basement after bedwetting incidents, ignoring the fact that Sylvia's incontinence was likely the cause.
Hey.
So the confessions that followed were damning. Paula, Gertrude's daughter, signed a statement admitting she'd beaten Sylvia with a police belt so hard she broke her own wrist.
Oh.
She also admitted to pushing Sylvia down the stairs to the basement multiple times. And Paula wasn't the only one. John Jr., one of the sons, admitted to spanking Sylvia, and in his words, using his fists most of the time. He also confessed to burning her with matches and said his mother frequently burned Sylvia with cigarettes. Beyond the family, 5 neighborhood kids, Michael Monroe, Randy Leeper, Darlene McGuire, Judy Duke, and Anna Cisco, were also arrested. They were charged with causing injury and released to their parents under a condition they testify at the trial. And that's what's so mind-boggling about this to me, because it wasn't just one family abusing. It was so many fucking people. Neighbors, classmates, kids, like, they were all participating. And Sylvia's story only becomes more devastating when we consider the full extent of her injuries. Okay, so the autopsy. It revealed she had over 150 separate wounds across her body, all distinct. Her injuries varied in severity and stages of healing, showing that they were prolonged over months. The burns, the bruises, the muscles, and nerve damage. It's just horrifying. The details were haunting. Her fingernails were broken backwards.
Oh, God. Okay.
And the outer layers of her skin on her face, neck, and other parts of her body were peeled off.
Fuck.
And in her final moments, Sylvia had bitten through her lips so severely that parts of them were almost severed off. So this poor, beautiful baby was in so much pain.
I'm speechless.
What makes it even harder to comprehend is her death wasn't immediate. The official cause of death was listed as the subdural hematoma caused by the severe blow to her right temple. So remember when I had said she had, stomped on her head and... but her prolonged suffering, shock from the damage to her skin and tissues combined with severe malnutrition also played a role. And here's the detail that makes my fucking blood boil, Chantal. When the coroner examined her body, it was clear she had been recently bathed. So after she died, Gertrude and the others, in some bizarre attempt to cover their tracks, decided to give her a bath.
I can't.
After Sylvia's death, the question was, what happens now? People were fucking enraged, but how do you bring justice to a case this horrific? Some of these kids are 10.
Oh my,
Yeah.
The level of reform. The level of reform that would be needed.
Yeah. So on December 30th, 1965, the Marion County Grand Jury answered the question by indicting 5 people in first-degree murder. So those 5 were obviously Gertrude, her children Paula and John, and 2 of their accomplices, Coy and Richard. They were all charged with premeditated malice, accused of repeatedly beating, torturing, and ultimately causing Sylvia's death.
Wow.
It's important to note that not everyone in the household were indicted. Stephanie, remember Stephanie?
Yes.
Another one of her children, was released from custody 3 weeks earlier. Her attorney argued that there wasn't enough evidence to tie her directly to the murder, and she agreed to testify against her family. But they had to grant her immunity.
I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah, same. And that's a big deal. I mean, testifying against your own mother and siblings obviously isn't easy. Was this a... And I don't know, there is never an account that Stephanie participated, but she did nothing.
Yeah, I have very little sympathy for Stephanie.
Yeah.
Very little.
So by March 1966, the wheels of justice were in motion. At the pretrial hearing, psychiatrists evaluated all 3 of defendants, which were Gertrude, Paula, and John Jr., so the family members, and testified that they were all mentally competent to stand trial. Which
That's
is,
right.
Fuck yes, you are.
Yeah.
And let's talk about Paula, because she was a big fucking participant.
Fuck you, Paula.
Her psychiatric evaluation was chilling. She described Sylvia as being withdrawn and refusing to eat. She was so detached from reality. Like, she was just kind of indifferent about it. Like, she wouldn't eat. She was kind of quiet. That's how she described Sylvia.
I might throw hands.
I know. By April 66, it was time for Sylvia's abusers to face justice. The trial of Gertrude, her children Paula and John, and their accomplices Richard and Coy began April 18th. All 5 were tried together in an Indianapolis City County building under Judge Saul Rabb. And here's the kicker. The prosecution was seeking the death penalty for all 5, yes. Can we pause for a second? Because the death penalty for 5 people, that's how horrific and deliberate their actions were, but that's almost an impossible feat.
I know.
It's hard to get the death penalty for 1 monster, let alone 5.
I know.
Collectively, the prosecution goes through the abuse, and the judge says, yeah, let's try them together. Splitting the trials would have made it harder for the jury to understand the full scope, I believe.
Right.
So jury selection was intense. Potential jurors were grilled about their views on the death penalty, whether they believed a mother was responsible for the behavior of her children, and the ability to handle the sheer horror of Sylvia's death. So, they went through a process to get these jurors.
Which is... I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate that.
And if you had any opposition to the death penalty, worked with children, or couldn't stomach the details of the case, you were out. Both the prosecution and defense knew this trial was going to be a battle. Okay, so we're going to break down the defense strategies because this is where things get fucking infuriating for me. Gertrude, the mastermind behind the nightmare, pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity.
Fuck you, Gertrude.
Her attorney, William Erbacher, argued she wasn't in her right mind and couldn't be held responsible.
I have never been so sure of anybody's state of mind ever.
Yeah.
No.
Meanwhile, the lawyers for Paula, John, Coy, and Richard claimed their clients had been pressured into participating by Gertrude. They portrayed her as a manipulative figure who controlled everyone in the house, including her kids.
Also, no. I don't care.
So it's funny because everyone's blaming Gertrude and Gertrude is blaming her mental health.
No, I don't care. I don't care.
And while it's true that Gertrude obviously was the ringleader, it doesn't excuse any of the choices the other people made.
No. I would have maybe been a little bit more sympathetic had they not been selling tickets to kids to come in and fuck with this girl.
The stakes for this trial couldn't have been higher. The prosecution was laser focused on getting the death penalty for all 5 defendants. They believed anything less would be a miscarriage of justice, which I agree.
I agree.
And honestly, you can't blame them. The evidence was so overwhelming and the brutality was undeniable. The community was demanding accountability. They were like, fucking fry these motherfuckers, and I would be the same.
Yep.
I'll stand right front row. I don't care. But here's the thing about trials, Chantal. They're not just about what happened. They're about who can present the most convincing narrative.
Yeah.
The defense wanted the jury to see these defendants as victims of circumstance, manipulated by Gertrude's twisted influence. And the prosecution, on the other hand, wanted the jury to see them for what they fucking were. Active participants in the most horrifying cases of child abuse and murder ever seen. One of the first witnesses was Deputy Coroner Charles Ellis, who testified on April 29th. Ellis's testimony was devastating. He described Sylvia's injuries in excruciating detail.
Okay.
Her lips essentially in shreds from biting them, her fingernails broken backwards, and her body covered in deep cuts and punctures. He also explained that Sylvia had been in a severe state of shock for at least 2 to 3 days before her death. And this part gets me. Ellis said that by the time her final hours came, she was in so much shock she may have not even realized what was happening anymore. Which, is that maybe a blessing? I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know. I hope she didn't. I hope she didn't.
I know.
The level of suffering, though, is unimaginable. But Alice did clarify one of the important details was while Sylvia's injuries were extensive, she hadn't been sexually abused within, like, the final days. So, I mean, although, whatever.
Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-fucking-doo.
I don't care.
And then there was Jenny, Sylvia's younger sister, and one of the most crucial witnesses for the prosecution. On May 2nd and 3rd, Jenny sat up there and testified against all 5 defendants.
Good.
She was only 15, and she showed incredible courage. She described how the abuse started 2 weeks after they moved into Gertrude's house. She said Sylvia had done nothing ever to provoke an attack.
Of course not.
And said the rumors that Gertrude said that Sylvia had said, they were all fabricated. So remember when we talked about how she went to school and said that the girls were prostitutes?
Yeah.
I think the sisters made that up.
Of course they did.
Yeah. And the part that hit the courtroom and everyone listening hard, Jenny shared how Sylvia had told her just days before, Jenny, I know you don't want me to die, but I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
And Jenny broke down, obviously. You can't blame her. What's almost as horrifying as the abuse is how many people knew what was happening and participated in. Not one fucking person did anything.
I am enraged by this entire town. Like, anyone on that street?
You're going to get real mad right now. So Randy Lepper, one of the neighborhood kids who was participating in the torture, testified that he'd seen Sylvia crying, but noticed she had no tears anymore because she was so fucking dehydrated. He then admitted to beating her between 10 and 40 times. And you know what this motherfucker was doing when he talked about that? Smirking. Fucking smirking.
Oh, Lord, give me strength.
Like, and looking at everyone else like, yeah, I did that. Like, anyways. Another witness, Judy Duke, described seeing Sylvia's sores being rubbed with salt until she screamed. And then, of course, there's Shirley, Gertrude's daughter, who is 10, who ripped open Sylvia's blouse while Richard Hobbs casually remarked, everybody's having fun with Sylvia, and they all laughed. It wasn't just the family, it was the kids in the neighborhood. The adults who turned a blind eye.
Uh-huh.
Even the fucking Baptist minister, Roy Julian, who admitted he knew Sylvia was being abused but didn't report it. He said he didn't act because Gertrude told him Sylvia was being punished for making advances to men for money.
I need to go for a run or something.
I know. On May 12th, Gertrude testified in her own defense.
Oh,
She
poor
claimed-
Gertrude.
She claimed to have known nothing what was going on in the
kill her.
house.
I can't.
She said, my house is a madhouse. I'm sick and depressed. I can't control these kids. They just run the show. And get this. She admitted to starting to spank Sylvia once, but she said she was too emotional to follow through because she would never hurt her.
Oh my God.
She denied knowing anything about the beatings, branding, scalding, burning, all of it. 2 days after her testimony, Richard Hobbs took the stand, and his testimony was one of the most chilling moments of the trial.
Oh boy.
Hobbs admitted that on October 23rd, Gertrude had called Sylvia into the kitchen and said, "You have branded my children, so now I'm going to brand you."
What?
Like, it's fucked.
Okay.
He described how Gertrude started carving the words into her stomach, remember?
Right, yeah.
But handed him the needle to finish the job. And even though Sylvia cried and begged and said, "Please stop," he says, "Oh, it was just a light branding." Like, he brushed it off.
Again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Hobbs testified that after Sylvia's death, he went home and finished watching the Lloyd Thaxton show.
I will.
Imagine you just fucking killed somebody with a group, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm going to go casually watch some TV." Next up was Mary. So that was the young 11-year-old girl that ratted on her for eating the sandwich.
Sure.
Her testimony took a very different tone. When she was called to the stand as a defense witness, she broke down in tears and admitted her role in the abuse. She confessed that she heeded the needle Hobbs used for branding and that her mother had been indifferent to Sylvia's suffering. She described Gertrude sitting in the chair crocheting while the neighborhood girls attacked Sylvia. Marie's testimony was one of the few moments in the trial where you felt like someone in that house understood the gravity. But really, did she? Because she knew what was going to happen to Sylvia for eating a fucking sandwich, and she ran home, the little 11-year-old little psycho herself, and was like, "Mom, guess what?
Oh, God. God.
She also confirmed that her mother and sister Paula were the ones who inflicted the most abuse. Though all 5 defendants were involved, and she said that after forcing Sylvia into the basement, the torment was escalating. Grace Sargent, a prosecution witness, testified about Paula openly bragging on a church bus about beating Sylvia so severely that she broke her own wrist. And then Paula jokingly said, "And I was trying to kill her." And then there was Dr. Dwight Schuster.
Okay.
Like, it never ends.
Okay.
A court-appointed psychiatrist who testified on May 16th. His job was to evaluate Gertrude's mental state. So, of course, Gertrude had pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. So this testimony was the big guns. Like, he came in and he was not pulling any of that bullshit. He testified that Gertrude was sane.
Amazing.
She was sane during the trial.
Yep.
And she'd been sane
The
throughout her
entire
actions.
time. That's right.
So no insanity defense for Gertrude.
Fuck you, Gertrude.
Yep. And he was cross-examined for 2.5 hours, and he was like,
No.
Nope. Yep. So after 17 days of testimony and some of the most horrifying evidence ever presented in a courtroom, the trial of Gertrude and her co-defendants came to a close. On May 19th, 1966, the jury, a panel of 8 men and 4 women, deliberated for 8 hours before returning with their verdicts. This is what it was.
Drum roll.
Oh, fuck. So Gertrude, the mastermind, obviously, was found guilty of first-degree murder, and the jury recommended a sentence of life. Her daughter, Paula, was found guilty of second-degree murder, which
Okay.
I think she should have also, but
Yeah. Agreed.
meanwhile, Richard Hobbs and Coy and John were found guilty of manslaughter.
Stop it.
Yep.
I gotta go.
No. Anyways, on May 25th, Gertrude and Paula were sentenced to life. And while that might feel like closure, for the others it gets a little complicated. Richard, Coy, and John were each sentenced 2 to 21 years. 2 years!
What?
For months of fucking cruelty. And in September 1907, the Indiana Supreme Court overturned the convictions of Gertrude and Paula. I know. The court ruled that the extensive media coverage and the judge's refusal to grant a change of venue for separate trials meant neither of them had received a fair trial. I know. Okay. So everyone's going to take a breath because when I'm going to fucking tell you this, I'm
having a panic attack.
I know. So, and this is why I went so depth into the trial because I think it's important.
Oh my God. Okay.
So they were both retried in 1971. Paula chose to plead guilty to voluntary manslaughter to avoid another trial. She was sentenced 2 to 20 years, but was released just over a year later.
Okay.
Despite attempting to escape from prison twice, she still got out in 1 year. Gertrude, on the other hand, was retried again and convicted of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life in prison for the second time. Now, over the next 14 years, Gertrude became known as a model prisoner.
I will rage.
She worked in the prison sewing shop and became a mentor for young inmates.
I don't give a fuck.
Even earning the nickname Mom. That's the most fucking craziest shit. Who's calling her mom? By 1985, she had reinvented herself as Nadine Van Fossen, combining her middle name and her maiden name, and described herself as a devout Christian. During her parole hearing, Gertrude said she wished Sylvia's death could have been undone. And claimed she didn't fully remember her role in the abuse. She blamed her fucking actions on the drugs for asthma she was taking.
It's those puffers. Those puffers will get you every time.
Despite her claims and the protests, the parole board voted in favor of her release. Gertrude was free December 4th, 1985, after serving only 20 years of her life sentence. After her release, Gertrude lived quietly in Iowa until her death of lung cancer in 1990 at the age of 61. And I hope she fucking suffered. I hope she drowned.
I hope she's still suffering.
I do too.
I hope in the afterlife.
I'm not, because this is a pretty long episode. What I do know, though, Paula, upon her release, worked at a school as an assistant to a school counselor.
I will light this whole condo on fire.
The only thing that I can say is most of the people involved never did grow into old age. They all died of heart attacks and things like that.
Paula's still alive.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, Paula's alive.
I got it. Okay.
So, I mean, I was going to continue on with what happened, but it doesn't matter because the important part is that Sylvia, the justice was not served. And I will never get over the fact that these people are still out there in the world. I think that a life sentence should be a life sentence and there should be no ands, ifs, or buts. There's no good behavior. There's no nothing. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel. I'm so sorry for Sylvia and Jenny. And, I think the only thing we can take away from this is fucking do something.
I'm so glad that you said that because the rage that I feel is primarily towards these people that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And you could have done something.
Yeah.
You could have literally, I hope whoever is still alive, I hope that you think about that every day.
Every day.
I hope you wake up every morning and say to yourself, because I was a coward, because I was a monster, I didn't say anything and I could have saved her life.
And
I hope they think that every day.
The last thing you see when you close your eyes at night is her face. And I hope the first thing you think about in the morning is that sweet girl.
Yeah.
Because you stole her life.
Anyone who, even these fucking neighbors who heard screaming.
I hope they think about it.
I hope, I hope they're having the life they deserve.
Yeah.
Because karma's a bitch and I hope you suffer every day.
Amen.
Amen, sister. Well, I would say thank you for that story, but I hated it. But
it has to be told.
It has to be told. This is
she can't be forgotten.
No, exactly. And I've said many times before, I am very much alive. I have not been murdered. If I was, I'd want people to tell my story.
100%.
I would.
So guys, if you do like our story, please like and share our content. It helps us be able to create more content. We've got big things coming down the pipe in the new year. We're excited to explore all different things with you guys, and we appreciate you. So take care.
Happy 2025. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on Triggered, where we dive deep into the dark, the twisted, and the cosmic mysteries of the universe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay cautious, always watch the stars and your back.